Hey St. Mark's, happy Thanksgiving. Let's make a pecan pie. Actually, before we make a pecan pie, let me just say happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I hope you have a wonderful time with your family. I'd encourage you to check out our Thanksgiving Eve service. It's going to be online. It's our traditional Thanksgiving Eve service that we do with other churches, but we basically put it all together so you can view it from your home this year. And so check that out Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. You should have received a piece of mail from St. Mark's this week. It included a letter from me where I talk about all that God has done at St. Mark's this year and then ask everyone for their commitment to next year. Inside that letter, there was a commitment card, a financial commitment card. And as we've been talking about giving these last couple weeks in my Pastor Paul updates, I want to just share with you again the importance of giving in our lives as Christians. Now, I'll be perfectly honest. The church, without your giving, can't do what it needs to do. But the difference about Christians giving comes from Scripture. And let me read to you a Scripture passage that the Apostle Paul wrote to the Corinthians. He writes this in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 6, and a couple other verses. He says this, "Remember this, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed and will enlarge the harvest of your righteousness. You will be enriched in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion, and through us your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God." Now let me tell you what Paul's saying and what he's not saying. What Paul is not saying is that as long as Christians give, God is just going to make sure that God gives them even more. That is not what Paul is saying here. If it was, everybody would come to the church and give. What Paul's actually saying here is this: out of your gift, God does amazing things. Out of your gift, not only do you see God working in the church, but you also see God working in your life. That's what Paul's saying. He's saying the gift of giving is for every Christian because it's truly a gift from God. You should have received this pledge card, this commitment card in your mail this week. And on it, we're asking you to fill it out, or you can go online and fill it out as well. But we're asking you to think about what you can give to St. Mark's next year. We do this every year. This is not new. What's new about it this year is that we're not talking about it on Sunday morning. We wanted to talk about it in your home, through Facebook, through YouTube, and in a letter. We encourage you to consider your gift to St. Mark's this year as you celebrate Thanksgiving. We're asking that these pledge cards are returned by December 13th. That way we can plan and budget for next year. As we celebrate Thanksgiving this year in a different way, certainly under different circumstances with the global pandemic, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be your senior pastor for the last year. Yes, it's been a year now for me at St. Mark's. I am so blessed by you. I'm blessed by your generosity. I'm blessed by the hearts of people at St. Mark's. I'm blessed by our efforts in the community. I am thankful for all of this and that I get to be a part of what God is doing, not only at St. Mark's, but in our community, in my family's life, and hopefully in yours as well. God bless you this week as you celebrate Thanksgiving and you connect faith and life. All right, I'm in my kitchen and we're ready to make a pecan pie, but I have a guest with me today. All right, so Theo, hop up on the chair. Theo is going to be my official stirrer here. You want to say anything to anybody?
Hi.
Okay, good. Perfect.
And you could see this, but I know you could. We got our Christmas tree up already.
There is plenty of Christmas stuff around here already. This is true. All right. So when I grew up in Texas, you always had pecan pie with Thanksgiving. So I don't know if that's something that you normally have, but I'm going to teach you the recipe here. This is the ingredient list that you need. You need a pie crust. You need 4 eggs, 3/4 cup brown sugar, about a quarter teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of vanilla, 1 1/3 cup of light syrup, corn syrup, light corn syrup, and a cup of pecans. I like to do 2/3 a cup of chopped pecans and 1/3 cup of regular pecans. But today all I have is just 1 cup of pecans. So we're going to start by beating the eggs. All right, buddy?
I'm going to beat the eggs. Like, here you go.
Here's your spoon. There you go.
I just stirred.
He brings all the excitement. All right, so we're going to put these eggs in here.
I got a sun cracking the sun.
Do you think I'm cracking the sun? Is that what you think?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like? Ooh, that sounds pretty serious. I used to crack the eggs on the side of the dish all the time. So I did. Until I learned that you could just crack them against each other. All right, buddy, stir it up.
How fast?
Stir it up.
How fast?
Well, not so fast, but a little fast.
Like this?
So it mixes together. Yeah, good job. All right, let me grab a towel here. So while he's mixing that together, take those 4 eggs, we're going to add the brown sugar. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. There's brown sugar.
Now how fast?
Same speed. I said you need about a half a teaspoon of vanilla. So something about like this.
That smells good.
That does smell good, doesn't it? I agree. A little bit of salt.
Salt doesn't smell good.
No, it doesn't. You're right.
I never smelled salt before.
Yeah, salt doesn't really have a whole lot of smell. Okay, you're doing good. And then we're going to mix in the light syrup. 1 1/3 cup of light syrup. So can I borrow the spoon for just a second here? We'll mix this in. Kind of get it all in there.
Can I mix it?
Oh yeah. You have to keep on mixing.
As fast as you can, but not really.
Yeah. I'd say on speed 8 out of 10. What do you think about that?
Like this.
Let's see. Yeah, look, that's pretty good. Yeah, keep on mixing it up. That's really good. So as he's mixing that, I'm going to switch sides here. And so I had the opportunity when I was younger in college to visit my grandma, and she taught me how to make pie crusts. And I have a recipe, and I have to admit that honestly I'm a little bit too lazy for that. So I just have a regular pie crust that you can get from the store. One thing I noticed with this recipe though is that if you use the store-bought pie crust, that sometimes because the filling is so thick with that light corn syrup and brown sugar, that I use Pam with baking. And I put that on the bottom of my pan, my pie pan, just to make sure that it doesn't stick. Because sometimes it does that and you don't want to pull apart your pie. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to put...
It smells good like that.
That does smell good. I think Pam with flour is the best. What did I say? Pam with flour? Did I say that before? I don't know. So we're going to flop this on here. We're going to size it up. I really did. I was going to Concordia University in St. Paul, Minnesota, and my grandma was living in Park Rapids, Minnesota, and she just made the best pies in the entire world. Ask anybody in my family. In fact, she was so good at it that a local bakery, when she was younger, asked her to come and make pies because their chef or whatever, their pie maker, was gone, and the people liked her pies more than anybody else's pies. So she made a lot of pies. We used to have lemon meringue pie and banana cream pie, things like that.
That sounds good.
And so when I was at Concordia St. Paul, I decided I would visit her for a weekend, and we made pies the whole weekend. And so she taught me how to make pies. Of course, my mom knows how to make pies as well and has made many pies for our family. Do you like pies, Theo?
Yes, pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie? Are we going to have some of that for Thanksgiving? I think so. All right. Well, this is all done. How we're doing with the stirring? That looks really good, Theo. Now, we're going to add the pecans. All right, keep on stirring. Good job. Fantastic. Very simple recipe, but always delicious. Remember, I put in a whole cup of,
I got it.
you got it, chopped pecans, but you can certainly divide that up. I've never done the recipe with whole pecans solely. I don't know if that would work out that great, but I liked chopped pecans. I think it's easier to eat the pie. So we've got this all mixed in there. Then finally we pour it in to the pie crust.
Ooh.
Would you like to do the honors? You want to take the spoon and scrape it in there? Ready? Very good. Can you believe all that is going to make a pie? All it needs is a little heat. Okay, we good? Perfect. Now, you bake the pie for about 20 minutes at 400, and then you lower the heat to 350 and you bake for 40 minutes. So we're going to do that now, and we'll be back. All right, well, we're back. This is literally hot off the press. Obviously, you probably want to let it cool a little bit longer than I have, but it's a beautiful pie, and I have my taste testers here, my wife Ellie and Theo, and so let's dive in here. Let's see how we did. Theo, you mixed everything. Good job, buddy.
Perfection.
That's good. I love it. So good. So, if you make this at your home, remember, let it cool appropriately. But we hope you enjoyed this pecan pie. And one last thing we want to say. We eat this pecan pie in celebration. We have a new addition to our staff family this weekend. On Saturday, Joel and Cassidy Drzymski welcomed a little boy. Here's a picture. Finn Thomas Drzymski. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.